Hi everyone, hope you are. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. Once again, thank you for your support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew, 200K crew. Where the are you? Okay, we keep trending that on Twitter. Let's get it going. We're having great conversation on Twitter, and I appreciate all the support across the board. Honestly, a lot of people say, "Why have you not got an intro on your videos?" Because this is my intro. I've always, since I've made these videos, is just start them with thanking you, the CoinsKid community, for being here, involved in the CoinsKid ecosystem, whether it's the Instagram, the Twitter, the Patreon, the Telegram, anything, you know, even the YouTube, just your subscription. And hopefully we can all grow in this space together, and I can deliver you these most important messages, because this is all I'm doing. Okay, all I'm doing, I'm not feeding you no spiel, I'm not bullshitting you, I'm just telling you what I see, and hopefully it makes sense to you like it makes sense to me. Okay, and hopefully you find it as a level of education as well. And I do get that, I do get those kind of comments across the board, that these videos are education, they're helping people, they've helped people not only learn but make money, which is also a good thing. But again, do remember, I'm not a financial advisor, okay, and nothing I say should be taken as financial advice. This is just pure for educational and entertainment purposes only. So yeah, hopefully, you know, this projection we have for Bitcoin at 200k, this bull run, will come to fruition. And so far so good. We are holding support. I know it's ugly and it's horrible, this rollover that the whole market's experienced right now, but I want to reassure you, as long as you're holding support, you're good, okay? It's all golden, basically. And I know I throw that terminology around a lot, but it is, you know, because you look at the previous cycles of Bitcoin, whenever it gets overextended, it rolls back to a particular level of support and holds for continuation in the bull run. Now, obviously, I've said to you, if you lose support, go short. I've taught you that, but there's two key indicators right here, okay? There's obviously, I've told you before, this Elliott wave theory that we're going through, okay, and it is theory, remember that. This Elliott wave theory matches up with the Fibonacci 2.272 Fibonacci extension right there of 200k per Bitcoin. Now, just because this is laid out like this, and you know, it looks technically sort of scientific and amazing, and it's happened before and stuff like that, does not necessarily guarantee that it will happen again. Okay, all I'm doing is relaying a message to you. Remember that. Okay, so if we hold support, we're good for continuation. If we lose support, go short effectively. Now, there is a couple of key interest areas right now I'm going to tell you, obviously, just to remind you, is that this swing high of the wave one high just here, okay, this can't be lost in this bull run, because if it is, you're invalidating the deep wave 4 pullback, and you're invalidating this wave structure, this Elliott wave structure right here. So if you do start to see Bitcoin roll over and lose 13909, then it's game over, and that is potentially a big signal for a bear market right there. Okay, it could afford to come down to test the previous local high, okay, which it's never done before, by the way. I've already gone through that with you. It's never actually rolled over and tested the previous cycle high. It has tested it on the way up before continuation, but it's never lost a key level of support and gone short down to the previous cycle high and bounced off it. Do you see that? So do anticipate that it's only ever done that once in a bear market, when it made a cycle high. So do anticipate that potential retest of support in a bear market. But right now you can see that at the moment, if Bitcoin holds this key level support, which it is at the moment, okay, and this particular level of support, the 1272, is $32,659 just there, okay, and at the moment you're above it, and you're also above the 55 EMA, which is good. So if we can see the week out above that, that's a big tick that potentially you are starting to form a bit of a bottom right here. And I'm going to show you something in a minute, okay, that's a really massive indicator that we do need to pay attention to for Bitcoin in the charts. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I don't think I've shown you this before. I may have, but I'll show you something in a minute. But yeah, I mean, to invalidate this Elliott wave theory, okay, we have to fall lower than the wave 1 high. Do you see that? Because wave 4 can't be deeper than wave 1. If it is, then your Elliott wave theory is out the window. But we're anticipating potentially this is the low, or, you know, we've given you a couple of levels here. If you do lose support of 2800, okay, there is a 24k bounce target, and there's also obviously the previous local high, the previous cycle high, which has not been tested on the way up as support, as it on the daily or weekly time frame. We've already gone through that. I won't bore you again with all that spiel, but potentially, let's say, for example, this could potentially be our wave 4 pullback, go through another rollover for Bitcoin right there. But again, it would be doing something it's never done before, and that is losing that particular level in a bull run, because previous times it's come down, held support for continuation. We've already shown you that. Okay, so I'm going to show you this thing that is really keen interest to me, and I think that this in itself will give you the bottom signal for Bitcoin. Okay, and I don't see any other technical analysis doing this, so hopefully this works out for us. Okay, and hopefully this is the big tick to just set a long for Bitcoin. So it's on the obviously you got the stock RSI, which I've spoken to you so many times about. I mean, look where that is right now. Look where it is. It's in the floor. It's never been that low. Well, it has been that low obviously, but each time it comes that low, it bounces, and you can see, look, you bounce there, continuation, support, bounce, support, support, bounce, support, bounce. You always see the upside. Okay, so this is what we're expecting. You're in the floor, and this is the worst capitulation, by the way. If you research it, this on record is the worst capitulation ever for Bitcoin. So many short-term holders have fled. They've left the market. They've sold. Long-term holders that have been holding since Bitcoin's inception, basically, you know, the whales, they're accumulating. Okay, they're accumulating. Perhaps they know something that the short-term sellers don't know. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of metrics to say that we're looking for continuation, basically, and this capitulation is almost over. Now, I wanted to show you this, didn't I? This is really important in my opinion, because I'm going to show you, this is a weekly time frame. Okay, so let's zoom it out a little bit like this, and I'll show you exactly what I mean right now. Let's bring this down. So this is the RSI, you know, this is the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and it shows the momentum of the market, in which direction it's going, and it's just a nice signal to keep an eye on. It shows divergences, you know, bullish or bearish. It shows reversals, basically. It's a really, really strong indicator. It's the RSI, so do research it and look into it. Definitely drop it into your charts. It shows you when you're looking at like a bearish divergence or a bullish divergence, and to be fair, on the weekly time frame, we was painting one massive bearish divergence, which shown us that Bitcoin was rolling. It was one of the key indicators as outlined in the previous videos. So with that, we're forming some kind of trend line, in my opinion, for on the RSI. Sorry. So I'm going to show you this right now, and I think that this could play an important role in finding the bottom right here, and this could be a fantastic entry point. Not financial advice, but it's kind of adhering to some kind of trend line. Okay. So you've got this low here, which was the low of the capitulation for Bitcoin in the previous bear run. Do you see that? Let's zoom it out a bit, tidy the chart up for you. So bring it in so you can see. So this particular level just here for Bitcoin, okay, was the cycle low, the ABC correction right there, the previous bear market, and we capitulated and we formed that low, didn't we? You know, that's our base for our Fibonacci extension right there, Fibonacci retracement tool. So you can see that is a low, and then what we did, we formed a high of wave 1, and we come back, we formed the wave 2 and the wave 3, and now we're going through the wave 4 before the continuation of the bull market for wave 5 right there. Do you see that? So with that, let's draw a trend line on this particular RSI right here for Bitcoin. Do you see this? Let's have a look. So something like that. Okay, so that's a trend line that Bitcoin is adhering to in the RSI. So potentially this is where you could see, if Bitcoin comes down to this trend line and loses it, that's your bear market. If it bounces, continuation, that's your signal of the bull market continuation right there. Do you see that? So there is a trend line that's going on just here for Bitcoin in the RSI. Do you see this? And you've got an upper trend line as well, obviously, this like that. Okay, so this is the wave pullback. This is your capitulation for Bitcoin in the previous bear market. This is your wave 1 high. This is your wave 2 pullback, okay, a higher low. Now this is your wave 3 high, which is a higher high. Do you see that? Now potentially we could bounce off this, and this could be your entry point to go long on Bitcoin. Again, not financial advice, but if we do start to see some sort of rally and a further downside, if Bitcoin adheres to this particular trend line, this is where you could see a fantastic entry point for Bitcoin, for that wave 5 high taking us up to the end of the bull run up here, okay, the 200K Bitcoin. So do anticipate that this is a beautiful signal to go long on Bitcoin, or get involved if you're not actually involved in Bitcoin. So do anticipate, you know, that this is the bottom signal right here as well. So again, it's just a little signal. You don't need to pay too much attention to it, but if it does come to fruition, great, because you can see there is some kind of structure here in the RSI as well, potentially, before we do start to capitulate and form that bear market signal just there for Bitcoin. Or potentially, you know, this in itself, if we lose this trend line as support, that's your bear market signal as well. Okay, so yeah, it's just something that I wanted to show you and relay to you. But right now I'm just going to jump into Bitcoin on the hourly time frame for you. Okay, so with Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, then there was some kind of hidden bullish divergence playing out just here. Okay, because you've got falling prices, okay? In the price action, you've got a low and a lower low, but then in the RSI, you've got a low and then a higher low. So that's always indicative of a reversal of a trend, and that's called a hidden bullish divergence right there. Do you see that? So obviously you got the reversal just then, you start to pick up. So this particular signal was validated. But like I said to you, okay, potentially if Bitcoin doesn't break this high of 34611, then you are looking at further downside and Bitcoin coming to the particular technical target of this rising wedge on the hourly time frame. So do anticipate that, okay, that if Bitcoin fails at this point to break this high, okay, which is the high of the rising wedge, then do anticipate a potential retest of this low down here, okay, and that particular low, I'm going to drop it in for you. We'll drop it in for you right there. That is 28732, okay, on this USD chart. So if Bitcoin loses that, go short, like I've said to you. And the technical target is the previous swing high, isn't it? And that technical target for Bitcoin is 24308. So do put some cheeky bids in down there if Bitcoin loses that support, okay? Because I would imagine if it was to roll this way, you see a bounce, okay, relief rally before, obviously, if it continues down to that 20k. So no one's got a crystal ball, no one knows what anything's doing, okay? But I've just shown you on the RSI, and I've shown you on the stock RSI as well where the bottom potentially is, and we do need to pay attention to that, because you can see with that particular signal right there that is where you could see that more downturn, and you've not actually formed a bottom yet. Okay, we're waiting for the bottom structure and the bottom signals. And one thing you do need to pay attention to for Bitcoin on the daily time frame, in my opinion, the most important thing that you need to see for a reversal signal is really simple, okay? The one thing that we're looking for, and if you're not already involved in the market and you're looking for a good signal in itself and you don't want to specifically time the exact bottom, you're looking for one signal and one signal only, and this is the truth, okay? You're looking for a bullish cross on the EMAs on the daily, okay? Once you get that, that's a massive tick that potentially you've bottomed out and you're reversing the trend right there. Because like I said to you, in a downtrend, okay, you're hitting your head on the daily 20, aren't you? Okay, you've fallen on the EMAs, you create the bearish cross, and you're hitting your head on the 20. You might come up for air sometimes, like you did here, get little fake outs, but the trend is your friend until the end, until we start to reverse the trend, i.e. get back above the 20, get back above the 55, continuation, and start dragging these EMAs over your shoulder, forming the bullish cross. That's your buy and go to the beach signal from CoinsKid. Do you see that? So we ain't got that yet, and that's like one of the main key signals for me for Bitcoin. A reversal of a trend on any time frame, you know, reversal of that particular time frame trend is your bullish cross, and it's very easy to see. Okay, you can these are really highly tradable events as well. You can short bearish crosses on the 5 minute, and you can long bullish crosses on the 5 minute. Take a look, zoom in. But anyway, I won't pester you with the 5 minute charts. That's something that you need to do yourself, because it's so in out. But yeah, keep an eye on it. Like I said, I've given you a couple of key levels of support right there. You do need to see Bitcoin hold the 28763, roughly around that area, because that's a local low. If it loses that, you're looking at a 24.316 bounce, and if it loses that, you're looking at a retest of that all-time high in the previous cycle for Bitcoin right there. But you know, until we start making these reversal patterns, I'm still relatively bearish in the short term, but obviously projectively long term bullish. But if you are waiting for that key signal, that key reversal signal, obviously you want to see the patterns form, like your W double bottom, breaking resistance, getting back above the daily 20, getting back above the 55, forming the bullish cross, the buy and go to the beat signal from CoinsKid on the daily time frame. Wow, what an opportunity to get involved for that continuation of Bitcoin in the bull run right there. So yeah, that's basically Bitcoin. We'll have a quick look at the hourly time frame and see what we can see. Okay, again, sometimes I feel like I'm rambling too much in these videos. People say, no, I enjoy your rambling. So I hope that people do. But there was one comment yesterday, so I was falling asleep, and I do apologise. But I do try to be quite thorough with you, okay, in the analysis. So right here, so you're above the EMAs, which is good, obviously. You're above the EMAs. Now, you could say that if you continue to stay above the EMAs and hold as support, this is where you could come up and tackle this level of resistance right here. Okay, now, obviously, if you do start to see this pattern broken, I don't know why that's there. That needs to be there, okay, because that's the high. Why is that there? That's some different technical analysis right there. It does need to break this high. Okay, this is the high of the rising wedge. To invalidate the technical target of the rising wedge, you need to break the high. I've told you that so many times. But how many times have we formed these rising wedges across the board for all the projects, and they've always got to the technical target, haven't they? So to anticipate that is actually coming, this retest, and that could be that double bottom that we're looking for, okay? And that could be that stock RSI hitting the low. It could be the RSI itself hitting that low, and it could be the end of the sell-off for Bitcoin, and we could be looking at reversals. So do anticipate that. So right now, to invalidate this pattern and this retest of the low, you have to see Bitcoin come up and break this high, okay? So if you see that high broken, 53241, that in itself could be a beautiful reversal signal, and you could be forming on a larger time frame a WW bottom right here, okay? Because if we look on the daily, that's your W double bottom right there. Do you see that? That's it, because it was a daily close. But anyway, on the hourly, it doesn't matter. So yeah, if you do see that target broken, that's your the break of the rising wedge. You're breaking the high, you're creating the W double bottom, and you've bottomed out for Bitcoin. So watch this space, everyone. Watch this space. We can only sit back and hope, can't we? But you've got your breakdown targets if we do lose support. Now, if it does break that, that's great. We're looking at continuation. But like I said to you, we've done this before where we've broken out these key levels of resistance and we had that fake out. Do you remember? The one thing you do need to see primarily, which Bitcoin's not done, is break the 55, okay? And you can see that that's where it fell short, okay? Because Bitcoin broke the 20, yay, we're off to the races, we've got the reversal, failed at the 55, got rejected, come back down. So do anticipate that the key reversal signature is breaking the 55, back testing support, holding continuation, dragging the EMAs over the shoulder, creating that bullish cross. That's your buy and go to the beat signal from CoinsKid if you don't want to perfectly time the bottom right there for Bitcoin. So yeah, so that's a little update on a Sunday for Bitcoin. I hope you had a good Saturday. I hope you have a really good Sunday. And come on, let's find the bottom here. You know it's close. It's really, really close. I can feel it. But again, you should never sort of judge anything on your feelings. Technical analysis, and biased or not, I do think that Bitcoin's going to 200K in this bull run. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.